Hey everyone, it is July and it is time for some Christmas crafting in July. I'm going to make some poinsettias, so I'm going to look through all my dies and figure out which one I want to use. Then I'm going to show you how I make my beautiful poinsettias, so stay tuned. Okay, as you can see, I have several poinsettia dies. I just love to make them, and I have various sizes and styles, so I thought I would just show you the ones that I do have, and then I'm going to decide which flower I want to use. I do like this die set. It's a little larger. These can actually be made in 3 different sizes, usually 4 different sizes. So this is a good one to have. I can run this through 4 times and I have 4 sets of flowers in different sizes. This one I really love because it's more shabby and I love the pointiness on the edges of these leaves. I've never used the stamen centers. I might try cutting some out in this paper also. This one I had ordered from Scrap Diva. You know, I don't even know if I have tried this die. I've got a magnet back there, so perhaps I have. I might start with this one just because I love all of the embossing detail in these petals. And I like the different layering pieces here. This one is a larger die set, and I actually have some of these that I made and put in my Etsy shop. So I might play with that. Maybe I'll just make some of each. These are some of my older Chaos Craft dies. This one can be made into a shaker, and this one's got little holes in the flower, so I probably will not use that one. I do like these leaves that come with this particular set. We got some fireworks going off at 9 o'clock in the morning on the 4th of July already. This is Chaos Craft die from August of 2024. I think I have used this one. This one I do not know if I have used yet, but again, I like the embossing detail in this, and I love that these are smaller. So I'm definitely going to make some with this one. Start out with these 2. I do plan on making quite a few different varieties. We'll see if I get around to getting any of them in my Etsy shop. I just like to make them. All right, so now I have picked out the flower dies I'm going to use. I'm just going to start running this through my die cutting machine. First I'm going to do pastel-y colors because there is lots of Christmas collections that have pinks and pastels in them, and we all know I love pink. Let's get started. Okay, I cut out 2 different designs of flowers. I want to show you the paper that I used. I did not use cardstock for these. For this particular flower, I think using a lighter weight cardstock or a heavier weight paper makes for a really pretty, more frilly flower. So I'm just using this pink paper that I got. It's a pad of paper that I got from my local paper store called Marco's. It's heavier weight than, let's say, copy paper. I don't know what the GSM is. They just sell these, you know, for like $3.99 for a pad. It was in pink, so I went ahead and picked that up, and that's what I'm using to cut these out. And because the paper is thinner, I was able to double up my paper, and I ran 2 sheets through at the same time. If you're using a heavier weight cardstock, that's probably not possible. So I went ahead and did a little creasing of these petals here. You can see how it just makes it look more realistic to do that. This is the Scrap Diva, this die here. This is called, what's it called? The large poinsettia. It cut out the 2 different sizes like that. And I'll show you how I go about creasing these to make them look more like that. The other flower was the KS Craft one. That is KS Craft August 2024 poinsettia. That is this one. I also was able to run this one through with 2 layers of the medium weight paper, and it still created embossing lines in there. And here's the smallest one, which I love that it's so tiny, and then cuts out those. So this right here was just 2 passes of the die set, and I got all those flowers. So let's work with this one first. This will be 1 set of flowers. That one's ready to go. But let me just show you a couple different ways you can do this. If you have a set of these bypass tweezers, these are really handy to have. Or if not, you can use anything with a straight edge to it, like a pokey tool or even a pencil, something like that would work. Let's do with this first. I'm just gonna take it, and I would go maybe about halfway, maybe a little more than halfway, and I'm gonna pinch at the top of the flower out here, and that creates a little fold like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Flowers are not perfect. Poinsettias are a little wonky, so it's okay if it's not exactly in the middle. So let's just continue to do that, and that looks really good. Do one more like that, because for me this gets a little addicting, and once I get started I want to just keep going. Again, just pinch at the top of the petal here. I typically go through and do, like, I'll cut a pile of flowers, then I do this part of it before I glue anything together. You don't want to cut too many out at a time because that just gets overwhelming. Once I get all these ready to go, I'll go ahead and glue them so they are finished and completed. And then if I want to make any more, I will go back and cut more petals and glue those together. So I like to do it in smaller stages. It's less overwhelming that way. If you make a mistake, though, you'll want to have extra flowers, of course, especially if you're still practicing. Then we've got some of these smaller ones. I think probably the bypass tweezers are the easiest because it's hands-free over here. Whereas if you use your pokey tool, you have to, let me show you. For this one, I just take it in my hand, and then you have to kind of hold onto it, and then you pinch there. This is by far easier. So if you have one of these, highly recommend using it. If you don't have one, use what you have. Okay, so I've got 3 more of these, so I'll just go ahead and speed through this. Okay, there we go. I got all the flower petals for this poinsettia ready to go. Now, this is just a very basic poinsettia. I really would like to do some inking on these flowers. For this video, this is just going to be basic tutorial for how I put it together. I'm going to put this flower together first, and then we'll make the other flower. Let me grab my little foam board. I'm gonna put these flowers aside. Let me grab something to put those in. Okay, so there's 4 petals for each flower, so we have enough to make 4 flowers. The other tool I'm going to use is my, what do you call this, embossing tool. This one I got from Tim Holtz. I purchased this one at Joann's, and I know you can get these online. So for the larger flower, I like to use either the largest tip or this one. And for smaller flowers, generally I use this. This one would be for miniature flowers, which we're not doing any of those today. Okay, let me put these over here. So I'm going to grab 2 of the 2 different size petals right here. And I'm going to get my glue. I'm going to start with the largest petal, and I'm going to put glue right in the middle. Just a little bit right in the middle. Then I'm going to kind of crisscross these, offset these, the other large flower right on top of it. So you have like a crisscrossy shape. There we go. So pretty. I love the shape of this flower. Then I'm gonna put the 2 little ones together first. And then you crisscross those as well. So you could use this as a smaller flower if you want to. You could add a couple more layers. You could offset that in the middle like that, but I'm just going to make a large flower for now. Then I'm going to put a dab of glue on top of there. And I'm going to offset this just slightly in the middle there. And I'm going to take my embossing tool and press down in the center. And then that gives a really pretty, kind of a wild looking poinsettia. If you want it to be more uniform in the back, you can just add, let's do that. We'll add another layer to the base. Really, you can build your flower up as big as you want it and just offset it slightly so that your flower is building up and the petals are offset just slightly. And let me see what happens if I put one more here. Because this is longer this way. So if you're building this one, you want to make sure you put your longer petals offset in the right direction. Okay. You could, maybe that's how this one's intended. I don't know. But I like the way this is looking. Okay, so look how pretty and full that is. I love it. All right, so that is one, and let me see, what do I have here? Yeah. We'll make one more, and I'm just gonna do this one the same way, I think. Let me offset these. I could try this one a little different. No, let me just do it like this. And then I am winging it here. That's part of the fun. Then I'm going to put one going that way, the long petal, because you can see there's a gap there. There we go. Ooh, it's looking so pretty. And if you want the inside to look more realistic, you could always use the stamens, paper stamens, or other stamens in the middle. So let me go ahead and layer up a couple of these. I could put a third one in there. Let's see. Oops. This flower or this paper is kind of delicate. Let me do this one with a third one. Sorry, I'm not in frame. Okay, then we're going to glue that all in here, and it's going to be nice layered up flower. Just offset the petals as you're putting it down there a little bit. And you can fluff them up a little. Just press down gently so you don't poke a hole in it. So pretty. I love it. Very nice. You know, I don't know how many layers a real poinsettia has. Let's see this picture. The bottom layer actually shows green, and I think probably there is some green in a real poinsettia like this. So I would maybe do the bottom layer in green and just have fun with it. But that's how I make a basic flower. And then you can cut the larger one out. You can cut the larger of the two out in the green to create the leaf pattern around the base. And do that. So pretty. Okay, this one has an extra leaf in the middle and this one does not. Maybe I'll go ahead and add that in there just so that they are the same, since I don't know if I'm going to make any more of this particular color or not, or this style. Oops. Just offset them a little bit. Okay. I like how fluffy that it is. So pretty. So that is one style, and that's using the Scrap Diva die set. Super pretty. And these are extra for now. And the other set is the Chaos Craft one. Let me get all those out. Let's see what we can create with these. Look at these tiny little ones. So cute. Sometimes I just play around with them, and some flowers I like better than others. That's why I have so many flowers in my flower stash, because when I cut a flower out, I tend to play around with it to see what I can come up with. Okay, we got quite a few here. The medium, the larger ones. Okay. So, how do I want to do this? I could make one using all three, or sometimes I do a medium one with small petals or a large one with medium petals. Let's start with the large one first. So let me put some of these aside so we don't have this huge pile here. Let's do two. All right, I'm just gonna Okay, let's do 2. We're going to do 2 large and 2 medium to start with and see how it looks. And this one's got more flower petals, so it might have a little fuller look to it, just layering 2 of each size. Let's see. And this one I'm just going to glue them on top of each other, whatever way you're comfortable with. So now 1 more of the medium, just offset them from the layer below. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm going to press down on it with my tool. That's pretty. I think I am going to try to put a couple of the little ones in the middle though, just to see how it looks. And if it helps for you to use tweezers, you can use tweezers. Sometimes you just have to hold the flower down with your finger until you get it in place. That looks pretty like that. You know what I forgot to do on this flower? I forgot to fold the petals up. Okay. Okay, there's that one. I didn't do anything with the flower petals, so it still even has a lot of dimension, but wait to see what it looks like when I do fold up the petals. Let's do that now. I'm gonna make the same exact flower, but I'm gonna fold the petal edges up. So I need 2, 2, and did I do 1 here? Yeah, I put 2 layers of I didn't separate that flower, so there's 2 layers of that top flower right on top of each other. All right, let's just try 2, 2, and 2 and see how it looks. Again, I recommend using your bypass tweezers. And we'll start with the larger one. Go about halfway, maybe a little more, and just pinch the tip of it. This is my favorite part. Now I'm going to glue these, I'm going to layer these up, and let's see how they turn out. It's already looking pretty. And because these are folded up, it does make it a little more challenging to place your layers on top of each other. So just, you can bend them up a little. You're not going to hurt anything. So pretty. And for this top layer, you can use your tweezers. Sometimes that's helpful. I like to have this available so I can come in and just press down on it gently, because my fat fingers don't fit in there. I did only use 1 of the smaller petals in the middle. Let's see. I think generally a poinsettia maybe has 5 layers of petals. I don't know. Well, let's see. This has 1, 2. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to do some research. Here you can see the difference in how those look. I think I'll make another one like this. And I will just start out. Oops, I need 2 of the medium. And then I have a small one already to go. So I'll speed through this part. And then I will put something in the middle of them. Okay, so we are ready to glue these together. This pink flower will go really great with the new, is it Rosie's Studio pastel Christmas collection that has just been released. I forget the name of it. I really want to order it, but I am really gonna try to restrain because I'm pretty sure I have paper that I ordered last year. Okay, there we go. We got 2 of those. They are pretty. I think I have too many layers in them, honestly. Let's do one with 2 layers of the large, 1 of the medium, and 1 of the small, and see how that looks. Because I feel like this has too many layers. Okay, let's try it. This won't take very long. Okay, I'm undecided if I want to use 2 of the larger ones, so I'm going to put those, I'm just going to see how it looks before I glue. That's pretty. Let's see how it looks without. Okay, so let's try simply. We'll just try 1 of each layer. And I can always add the extra. Really, this should have some green leafage on the outside. Yes, that's not a technical term, leafage. Foliage. Okay. All right, I actually like the way that looks. So this is super full of floral, and this probably is more realistic looking, and that's easier to do. All right, so those are ready to go, and I have enough for 1 more with 1 of each layer. So let's go ahead and finish that up so I don't have these extra petals sitting around. And then I will put some centers in them. Probably going to go with the gold balls. We will see. All right. Once you get going, you can make quite a few of these if you have a little production line going, which is usually the way I do it. Okay, there's that. So I got 2 like that, 2 super layered, and this one I did not fold the leaf petals up. So this is extra. I'm going to grab some gold foam balls to put in the centers. Grabbed the foam balls, the smaller ones here. These are from Dollar Tree. They usually have this during Christmas time when they put Christmas stuff out. So I think I have 2 more bags of these, but I'm almost half down here, so I'm probably going to grab, as soon as Christmas stuff starts coming out, I will pick up a couple more bags of those so I have them. And then the other option, I've got these little gold, they're not seed beads, they're just gold balls. And those are fun to put in the center of flowers. I don't think I'm going to use those today. Then I also have regular stamens. These stamens are a little too big for using on these smaller flowers. They're just too big. I don't know if you can get these smaller, but all of mine are too big. Like this die set has, you can see the little stamens in there. This comes with the cutouts to make them. I have never tried that. I might try that maybe in a future video and see how those look. They definitely have added like, maybe they've used stickles or something on the tips to make them more round. That's a neat idea. So I'm not going to use these or these, but these are just some things you can try. All right, so let me put, we've got these, the larger ones. That's the Scrap Diva flower. And let me see how big those are in there. You could just put one flower in there or one ball in there. These are just a little bit too big. I could probably make it work if I moved this guy over or picked out these smaller foam balls. If you like red, maybe not on these pink ones, but you could put some of those in there. Those are kind of cool looking. But for today's video, I think we're just going to go with the gold. Let's do the larger one first. I don't know how many to put in here, maybe 5 or 6. You definitely want them like kind of stacked up in the middle. That looks pretty. Let's try that. So I'm going to put a pretty good glob of glue in there because I use the glue. I do not use the glue gun to make flowers. I hardly use my glue gun at all just because it frustrates me. I don't like the glue strings. Okay, and then I'm gonna put more glue in the middle there so it can grab onto that one. I think maybe I need another. Well, okay, that one. Okay. Well, there we go. One thing about this glue, it dries clear, so I don't have to worry about that. All right. I didn't put enough glue, I can already tell. They did not land where I wanted them to at all. Oh, There's quite a bit of glue in there, so those will take a minute to dry. Super pretty. And these will do maybe just 2 or 3. Definitely don't do 2. 3 is good. So I'll just put 3 dots kind of where I want them to go. And hopefully my balls will stay there. There we go. Pretty. All right. Of course, it went right in the middle. All right, that's those 2. And let's do these super chunky ones. Still, I will put 3 in here. Go ahead and put the glue. This is usually what I do. I do 5 or 6 flowers, and then I put the glue in all of them, and then I put the balls. It just seems to go quicker that way. It's like a little assembly line. Okay, very pretty. And we'll do this one. This one's kind of flat to me, but I'll go ahead and bling it up anyway. Whoops. Get in there. Okay. There. All right, so here is the larger one. This is the Scrap Diva die. Super layered, and you could do less layering on these too. These would look pretty with glitter on the edges of them. Love it. And this is the Chaos Craft one. This is using 1 layer of each of the 3 sizes. Super pretty. This is using 2 of the large, 2 of the, let's see, 2 of the large, 2 of the medium, and 1 of the small. All right. I think they all turned out really pretty. And in my next flower video I will try to do some inking or distressing to give the flowers some more shading. So there you go. Super pretty. All right. Easy to make. You can do it. Just takes a little time and patience. And if you don't want to make them, I'll eventually probably have some. Actually, I think I've got some pastel pink ones with sequins with glitter. I think that are still in my Etsy shop. I'll have to check that. But if not, I'll be adding some more. So yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.